Winter had a way of silencing everything in Bavaria. Snow fell endlessly, covering the dense forests and frozen fields in a pristine, white blanket. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying an almost tangible sense of foreboding. In this desolate landscape stood a small, isolated farmhouse, Hinterkaifeck. It looked peaceful from a distance, a quaint emblem of rural life. Yet something unseen stirred within its walls. Footprints appeared in the fresh snow, leading to the farmhouse. But strangely, none were seen leaving. Shadows stretched long and distorted across the frozen land, as if the very forest were watching. Even the villagers in nearby towns began speaking in hushed tones, sensing that something extraordinary and horrifying was about to happen. This is the story of the Gruber family and the chilling events that transformed Hinterkaifeck from a quiet farm into one of history's most infamous unsolved murders. Chapter 1. The Gruber Family. The Grubers were an ordinary family, bound together by routine, survival, and resilience. Andreas Gruber, the patriarch, was a man of discipline and hard work. In his 60s, he had spent decades tending the land, chopping wood, feeding livestock, and ensuring his family had everything necessary to survive the harsh Bavarian winters. To outsiders, he appeared stern, but he cared deeply for his children and grandson. Cecilia, Andreas's elder daughter, was the matriarchal presence in the house. She kept the home running with efficiency and patience, making sure that warmth and order persisted even on the coldest nights. Victoria, the younger daughter, had a quiet strength. She cared for her 10-year-old son, Joseph, ensuring that daily chores were completed while offering comfort and guidance to the boy. Joseph was bright, innocent, and cheerful, a child whose laughter once filled the farmhouse, unaware of the shadows creeping closer. Together, they created a life that, to the outside world, seemed ordinary. Feeding animals, chopping firewood, tending the garden, and maintaining a household in the unforgiving winter landscape. Yet the very isolation that made their life self-sufficient also made it vulnerable. Unknown to them, a presence had been silently observing, waiting, learning their every routine. Chapter 2. Ominous Signs. Long before the murders, subtle signs hinted that the peace of Hinterkaifeck was unraveling. Footprints appeared in the snow around the farmhouse, always approaching, never leaving. Objects inside the house seemed to move or disappear, and strange noises echoed from the attic. Soft scratching, faint footsteps, whispers that the family could not explain. Even the maid who had recently worked in the household fled in fear, claiming she could feel an unseen presence. Andreas confided to neighbors that he felt watched, that something was not right. Nights were no longer restful. The wind howled through the eaves in unusual ways, and shadows seemed to linger longer than they should. It is believed that whoever would commit the murders had already infiltrated the home, living undetected in the attic, studying the family and learning their habits. Hinterkaifeck, once a symbol of security and routine, had become a stage for something dark. Chapter 3. The Night of Horror. March 31st, 1922, was the night that would haunt Bavaria for decades. The Gruber family, Andreas, Cecilia, Victoria, Josef, and the maid, were brutally murdered with a pickaxe. The farmhouse was transformed from a home into a scene of chaos. Bodies were scattered throughout the rooms, some hidden, some stacked. The pickaxe, the instrument of violence, remained at the scene. Nothing had been stolen. Windows and doors were locked. Evidence suggested the killer lingered afterward, tending to the livestock and performing daily chores, blending seamlessly with the life of the household before vanishing completely. The brutality was almost ritualistic, executed with a precision that terrified investigators. Hinterkaifeck, the secluded farmhouse, had become the setting of one of the most chilling unsolved murders in history. Chapter 4. Discovery and Investigation. Concern arose when the family failed to attend church and missed scheduled deliveries. On April 4th, 1922, authorities arrived, greeted by an unimaginable scene. 6 bodies lay in the farmhouse, lifeless, a stark contrast to the warmth and life that had once filled the home. Investigators noted several confounding details. Footprints led to the house, but not away, and the crime scene indicated no theft or forced entry. Neighbors were interviewed, and several suspects emerged, including neighbors, acquaintances, and former employees. Yet despite exhaustive investigation, no one was ever charged, and no conclusive evidence of the killer's identity was found. Hinterkaifeck had become a puzzle, a mystery that would defy explanation for decades to come. Chapter 5. Theories and Speculation. Numerous theories have attempted to explain the murders. Revenge by a neighbor. Perhaps Andreas had enemies in the village. Someone seeking vengeance. A wandering psychopath. The killings could have been the work of a random, cruel stranger. Family disputes. Some speculate internal conflicts as a motive, though evidence is lacking. Supernatural explanations. Andreas reported strange noises in the attic. Some believe the farm was cursed. Intruder in the attic. The most chilling theory is that the killer had lived undetected in the home, observing the family and planning the murders meticulously. Despite endless theories, the true motive remains unknown. Hinterkaifeck endures as one of history's most haunting, unsolved mysteries. Chapter 6. Legacy. The story of Hinterkaifeck left an indelible mark. The farmhouse was eventually demolished, yet its memory persists in books, documentaries, and research. It serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life, the power of isolation, and the enduring terror of the unknown. Even today, some say that on cold Bavarian nights, you can feel the whispers of Hinterkaifeck, hear the faint footsteps in the snow, and sense presence of a story that refuses to be forgotten. The questions linger. Who killed the Gruber family? Why? And could such a crime happen again? Epilogue. The mystery lives on. Hinterkaifeck is not merely a story of murder. It is a story of fear, paranoia, and the unknown. Over a century later, the farm is gone, the family gone, and the killer never found. Yet the tale continues to chill and captivate, a silent echo of terror in the snow-covered forests of Bavaria. Hinterkaifeck, the mystery lives on,